What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is the Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're back for the Monster Wants to Eat Me. With last episode, they have updated for real this time. And, man, the way that things have been kind of like laid down for Hinako has kind of made it more confusing for us, the viewer. Because she was informed that her blood had been mixed with Shiori's already by this point. But it happened long before they met the recent time. So did it happen around the time of the accident? Probably. So the question comes down to, was she responsible for the accident? Or is she just responsible for saving her and giving her the will to live? Because apparently the blood being mixed together makes her like taste disgusting to Shiori, so will she keep that promise? Is there about to be some drama because it's in question on if she will or not? Suppose we'll find out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit like, subscribe, and at least let the video run through to let me get to watch them because I highly appreciate it. That said, let's get to it. You have been sandwiched, and not in the way you thought you would be. Oh, so she finally got the chance to bring that up. Well, suppose she'll be able to learn some more if Miko knows anything. I mean, she could have been messing with her, but she also had the chance to eat her before Shiori showed up, so I don't think she is. Okay, being given that option for someone like her is probably not a good idea, because she probably couldn't help it. Backs the fuck off. Okay, using it in joke format is amusing. Especially considering that bench is not that big. Well, there goes your hunt. You think that, and you could very well be wrong. She literally just had to call out her name. Like, yeah, I'm probably going to be fast forwarding this next bit, but hello. Well, time to have asked that question. And hopefully she gets the response she's looking for. I swear to God, if you bullshit her. Yep, completely bullshitting. Trying to make a joke of it instead of taking her in the literal sense. Because you know what she means. And now she's going to rephrase it just to be more specific instead of something she could twist. Also, again, like, this is just too common to be a coincidence. Like, Yuri shows their hands are always positioned in that way at, like, any given point when they find it convenient for camera angles. Just saying. Oh, yep, just point blank. Are you sure you want to go down this rabbit hole there, Hinako? Just unraveling her bandage so she can ask the question based off the information given. Does she really want to eat you? Is that what you're about to ask? While I pause for thumbnail material. I'm also just now realizing my majority of the thumbnails of this show are probably going to be just like close-ups of these two together. And now, in what manner are you asking? Because you are asking about, you know, if your intention is not to eat her, would she reject you? So, in what manner are you trying to get into her life, if not to be the one who ends it? Yeah, so that's the manner she's asking. Is like, if she's not going to eat her, will she just take matters into her own hand anyway? To which, by this point in Hinako's way of life, who knows? Would either of them even let her do it? That's the better question. Then again, both of them want her happiness, so if you truly want someone's happiness, perhaps sometimes that's the best method. Though I also say that as somebody who's in that mindset. So, like, I personally haven't had a good hand reached out, like she has. So, like, she has two good hands who have been trying to, like, do everything they can. Both to keep her alive in the emotional and literal sense. Oh, she has admitted it. Their blood is mixed together, therefore she's admitting to taking claim, therefore she's admitting she just smells gross. In a metaphoric sense. But I just can't bring myself to do it. Okay, but can we get the exact reasoning? Hopefully they give us that before, like, Hinako has her 1 or 2 episode wear fest. Utterly repulsive. Basically. Oh, rabbit hole. Deep dive. Finally time for the exact what's happening. See, this is why I'm not totally against the fact I've, like, gone weeks without watching these things, because it would have killed me to go week by week. Granted, this is the last one to catch up to, so that's kind of sad, but why did she give her blood to you? Well, I'm going to take the assumption before we get the full disclosure on it, like I said, to save your life. She was that voice of reason that you shouldn't crawl into the ocean and die with your family. She owed you? Interesting. Okay, well, apparently that didn't work too well in the latter half. Okay, so she gave the blood before the accident, so it wasn't specifically to save Hinako's life. Yeah, honestly, not a lot of people probably thought that happened, but would explain why she lived how she did. However, so that's probably why she's going to have her cry fest, because she's the reason that she lived and everybody else died. Right, okay. So, like, it's not the usual reason they throw in drama near the end of a season and something like this that usually comes back by the last episode to be at least as passive and happy as things can be. Because it's not necessarily a rom-com, it's a, comedy, romance, horror. So, we probably will get our happy resolution at the end one way or the other, but, that, I guess, is the reason for Hinako to get upset in the end of this whole conversation. If it wasn't for that, I would have died with them. I wouldn't just be where I want to be if you would keep your promise. But now you won't even keep your promise, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Well, again, half correct. Unfortunately, depression kind of took over that last half. Yeah, okay, so she was the voice that spoke to her when she was on shore that day. So not just in the blood transfusion way, but that voice that spoke to you, yeah, she's the reason you're alive for both of those reasons. I mean, it kind of is your family's last wish. Miko. Why do I keep saying that? Jesus Christ. Sega. Miko has been keeping your family's wish, this entire time, so why can't you just believe that that was also Shiori's wish? Something to support you, keep you alive, keep you somewhat sane. Hadn't really been the most successful, but yeah, she's not going to keep that either, unfortunately. That is such a passive and aggressive way of asking someone not to off themselves. If you're planning to go back home and take your own life, I must ask you to desist. I'd rather not have to tear you limb from limb to keep you alive. Which would not really help. Yeah, you did. To be fair, if her intention was to eat you, you shouldn't have. And this time, that is not in the literal sense. That is in the emotional sense. Unfortunate for Shiori. Oh no, she's probably gonna lay into her too. Nope, just walk right by her. Not even gonna give her the time of day. And she is pissed. She told her the truth. That is what she did. And she did not like the truth. Oh? That is left field. Probably not in too good of an emotional state herself, mind you. Also, kind of left field. Like, is she trying to test her own emotions? Immediately pans to them having a good time. And it's just gonna collapse onto okay, so really, what the fuck are we doing here? Yep, there it is. Well, you literally said, let's go on a date. So, yeah, kinda, sorta. Better yet, why is she actually still phrasing it that way? Yeah, I was about to say, like, bitch. Don't even. Penguin. I'm sure you would have, so would she have. But it's her you're probably there to talk about. Okay, so what kind of yokai level philosophical bullshit is she asking here? So she brought that question up because she still sees all of it as food instead of trying to relate more to the humans. Which so far most of the yokai that are, a higher level that she's run into have kind of had more of a human vibe about them. Granted, that only is Ayame and Miko, but maybe that's something she yearns to be, is closer to, society. Yeah, she kind of like tried to drag you closer to the sun, as it were, honestly. Like, even if you kind of saw Miko as, a shining sun in the sky or whatever, she was really the one that brought you closer to the surface, ironically. Honestly, though, like I said, of all the reasons to be dramatic in a show, this is definitely one of the more selfish ones. And again, as a person in this mindset, that's kind of funny for me to say. But again, as I've said, to completely argue with the hands that have reached out to you because one of them lied to you to try and feed into your ambition of death, just to want to continue to see you to live and strive and be with you during all of it, I don't really think that's a bad thing. So at some point, she did try to coexist with the humans. Hopefully, she goes into what happened, to which will probably be episode 10 because we're almost at the end here. But, yeah, I wonder what happened that made that break. Yeah, and that's probably why you formed your blood pack with Hinako, because she reminds you of that kid, and kind of like the incident with Ayame that happened of, oh hey, you remind me of that child. I hated that bitch. But somewhere interesting. I don't get to find that much out till next week, unfortunately, but it seems that this is one of those cases in anime where the main character just has a lot of very similar people she reminds others of. Because she reminded Ayame of her own kid, and now she's reminding Shiro about a child seen from her past long ago. Perhaps one she also, made a deal with. Suppose we'll see. Suppose we'll hear. Suppose we'll know soon. Let me know your thoughts on where that's going in the comment section, because honestly, I feel like if she tried again, she could totally live with humans. Something that might have occurred that we'll learn about in the next episode, like 2, 3, 400 years ago or whatever, and the same as what might occur now. But yeah, let me know about that. Anything else I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel, ring both bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter and Blue Sky, keep updated with things. TikTok, Patreon, where you get the full videos and not just my cut-up reactions. Go follow Twitch, subscribe for benefits. Can do so at Twitch Prime for free. Helps me out immensely for the temporary. This for long term. I have a green one. Until next time, it's been the Blazer King with King's Critique. Sound talk for now. Peace.